In today's world, you have all kinds of options about where to stay, whether you want to stay in a standard hotel, a boutique hotel, a hostel, or utilizing Airbnb, which is what my family and I have utilized several times. On this channel, we talk a lot about the state of Yucatan, Mexico, and especially the city of Merida, which one of the symbols of which you see behind me. And on our most recent trip to Merida, Mexico, to check on the home that will eventually make this video useless for me because I won't have to stay in a hotel anymore there, we decided to stay in two different types. We stayed in a standard hotel that we have stayed in several times, as well as trying out a boutique hotel, which is a style that is becoming very, very popular in Merida. So, today we look at the two places where we stay. The Hyatt Regency Hotel, located just a block off of the Paseo de Mateo, as well as Antelar Casa Destino, a beautiful boutique hotel, the style of which is becoming very popular, and you're seeing them built all around this beautiful city. So, here we are. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look, and let's roll the intro. Now, as I said, we have actually stayed in the Hyatt Regency Hotel just off the Paseo de Mateo in Merida, Mexico. I believe this was our fourth time. And on this particular trip, we were there for 5 nights and decided to stay there for 2 nights. We were used to the room, used to the hotel, and all of its amenities. Now, as things open up I won't say post-COVID, but as things open up, as COVID becomes a little bit less and less every day, one thing we did notice was there are several different coffee shops, breakfast areas, restaurants within the hotel's footprint itself, as well as Paseo 60, which is located, as you would expect, on Calle 60, literally just to the south of the Hyatt Regency's campus. And this place contains all kinds of dining options, not to mention that Paseo de Mateo being just a block away, you have all of the dining and museums and everything that is associated with that beautiful boulevard. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Paseo de Mateo is one of the most famous and well-trafficked streets in the city of Merida, and the Paseo is a beautiful tree-lined boulevard that even in the heat of summer, with Yucatan's heat of 100+ degrees day in and day out, this tree-lined street gives you a wonderful walkability, cuts down the sun, and gives you a nice cool breeze. And of course, at night, it truly comes alive when those temperatures dip down from the mid-60s to the mid-70s Fahrenheit. And it becomes a place for families to walk up and down and see all of the wonderful things that it has to offer. But that is just the location. When you actually take a look at the hotel, it is not as traditional as you would expect in a colonial city. It is without question a more modern version of the hotel. The lobby is absolutely big and beautiful, not necessarily bright, but you don't want all of the sun coming in from the heat of the day. So it's a big, beautiful lobby. The attendants there, all of the hotel staff have always been kind, considerate, and attentive to every need that we might have, whether that's ordering room service, getting the bags up, or answering any questions that we might have about where to find something and why. I will also mention that it is just catty corner, well, kinda, from the Walmart that is there, which I know Walmart is Walmart and everybody wants to keep local. But when you run out of shampoo, shaving cream, or 1,000 other things, it is nice to know that Walmart is 5 minutes that way and you're back in your hotel with everything that you could possibly need. So again, that's location. And as you move up to the rooms, the bathrooms are beautifully appointed. The rooms are large, and although there's not a lot of stuff in the rooms, it gives you everything that you could want, from a nice large flat screen television to an incredibly comfortable bed, beautiful views of the city. This last time we were actually on the 18th floor, which is the top floor, facing north, and you could literally see all the way to the beach. And I know that because I know where the windmills are that are close to the beach, and you could see them twisting around in the wind. We knew where we were. There they were. Amazing view. And for those of you who don't know, Yucatan is about as flat as a pancake, so it makes it easy to be able to see very long distances, especially when on the 18th floor. So fantastic views, beautiful scenery, fantastic pool, although it is on the north side, so as odd as it sounds, it does get a little cool. It does still have a nice pool bar, great pool, fantastic outdoor area, and again, it could not have a better location. So if you are looking for a consistent hotel room, I would absolutely say you can count on the Hyatt Regency Hotel pretty much every time you stay down there to be exactly what you expect. You pay for it, you get the hotel room, you get a nice location, and you are good to go. Now, if you have the Hyatt Regency, why would you even need to try another hotel? Well, one, there are tons of hotels that have multiple rooms like that, but what is becoming incredibly popular in Merida right now continues to be the growth of boutique hotels. We actually saw at least 5 being built that looked like they were between 4 and 12 rooms apiece. Now, where we are staying is close to another place that I've mentioned before on this video, which is Al Pedacito Secreto, which we have never stayed in, full disclosure, but my parents, who I know their taste well enough to know that this place must be nice if they were complimenting it, stayed there for a night when we had our very first trip into Merida, Mexico, and said that it was absolutely beautiful, well worth the money, well worth the stay. The staff was again very good, and it's just a more intimate atmosphere, and that continues to where we stayed for the final 3 nights of our last trip, which was Antelar Casa Destino, a beautiful place. And for those of you who know the layout of the city, it is about 3 blocks or so away from Parque de Santa Lucia, which is a park that is 1, beautiful, 2, very well treed, and 3, has a ton of restaurants that we have enjoyed about 80% of at this point, but it is located about 2 to 3 blocks away from Parque de Santa Lucia, right in the main area between Parque de Santa Ana, that, and of course Plaza Grande just being a little bit more to the south. Now, we'd never stayed there. We saw that Antelar had great reviews. We saw the pictures, thought this is good, but we went into this kind of blind. We had not stayed in a boutique hotel before, especially in Merida. We had either stayed in Airbnb or Hyatt, and that's kind of it. So we just went into this place with open minds, and we were definitely not disappointed. This place was beautiful. It was about 5 rooms. They have all kinds of options. We ordered breakfast every day. They brought drinks not only to us with the pool, but to us in our room. The room service was there. And the one thing that I will say about this place compared to just your standard hotel is that because there were so few rooms, it was very intimate. And rather than just having maid or room service, it really was you run into one of the people at the pool, at the front desk, they're running around the hallways, and you just say, hey, do you want this? Or they would ask you, is this a good time to go clean the room? Boom, it's done. And that's all the conversation had to be. Not that it was bad to talk to them, they actually had WhatsApp available that you would be able to speak directly to them. So when we had our COVID tester come to the door, we just sent them a WhatsApp message, they let them in, showed them to the room, easy peasy. Room service, same thing. What do you want for breakfast this morning? What kind of drinks do you want? Send them a WhatsApp, and within 20 minutes, most of the time, there were a couple of times where it took a little bit longer, mostly because food was involved, and food prep is what it is. But when we needed drinks or anything like that, it was very, very quick. They were very, very kind. And again, you saw the same people pretty much day to day. So if you had something that you enjoyed, they pretty much knew it right out of the gate. On top of that, the room was beautiful. It's not like it was a crazy difference between the 2 rooms. They had a bed, they had a TV, they had a bathroom. But the rooms were very high ceilings. Even though this was an obviously renovated place, it did have a very traditional feel. You could tell that they tried to keep very tall ceilings even on the 2nd floor. You could tell that some of the materials were locally sourced. And because it was only 5 rooms, they did have the ability to kind of create privacy within those. Now, there are 2 levels. One was the main level, the 1st floor, and I believe that had 3 of the rooms, and those were just kind of right overlooking the pool. Our room was actually on the 2nd level. It was a king suite, and it was right next to another one. Now, you could actually lock off the 2 of them, which was a little interesting because there was a giant door that was a part of the hallway, but it was right next door. Now, we got lucky, in my opinion, not necessarily for the hotels. I'm sure they wish it was booked, but when we were there, it wasn't booked, so we kind of got the room and the level to ourselves. But even if we didn't, these were very large rooms, very tall ceilings, a very nice patio area that while overlooking the pool, if you sat down, you were also kind of cut off, which to some might not be great, but for us, it was just a very nice little private terrace. And then you stood up, overlooked the pool, and whether it was during the day and you were sitting by the pool or at night overlooking the pool with a cocktail, you got to see a beautiful, beautiful, large pool with all kinds of amenities, hammocks, that kind of thing. And again, the service was absolutely incredible. And a lot of times when you go to these places and they're small, they're intimate feel, you get a pool, and might be a little ticky-tacky, but you get a pool that's a very small, intimate pool. This was not the case. This pool was very, very large, and oddly, again, very, very cold. But it was a very large pool, so even if all 5 rooms had people in them, I don't think it would in any way, shape, or form affect anybody that was staying there. You could have 5 couples staying all around this pool. You would each have your own private area, and especially for the rooms that were on the same pool level, you kind of had your own private overhang and pool patio area all to yourself anyway. So unless you wanted to go hang out on a hammock, you might as well just stay there and enjoy the view and avoid the sun and have a drink and be on your way. Now, I mentioned also that the location of this place was great because it was so close to Parque de Santa Lucia. Now, these places are about a 25-minute walk apart from each other. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It all depends on where you want to stay in the city. If you're more used to being around the Paseo de Mateo, stay in the Hyatt. It's very nice. It's a very easy walk down. We went to La Esquina and a couple of other places, and they were right there. Also, the opposite way, spoiler alert, on top of the Courtyard Marriott, there is a wonderful Sky Lounge. Now, this place is just about a 60-second walk from the front door of the Hyatt Regency, but it's in the Courtyard Marriott, which we have not stayed in. You take the elevator all the way to the very top, and boom, you are sitting with a 360 view of the city. You can go up to the pool deck and see to the north, and they actually have a handicap-accessible lift that can allow anybody that needs that to get into the pool to enjoy it as well, which I don't see in many hotels, and it's a fantastic option if you do have somebody that needs assistance getting in. On top of that, there's a smaller area off to the west side that has a nice little intimate setup for you and your friends, or just stay in the main place where they have several different food options, several different drink options. And again, we visited at the time where there weren't too many people, but I can see even if there were a lot of people, the attendant staff were fantastic, the food was great, the drinks were great. Again, the Sky Lounge at the Courtyard Marriott, it's a wonderful benefit no matter where you're staying in the city. But if you just happen to be staying in the Hyatt, it's right down the road. You might as well go and enjoy it. So all that being said, where would I stay? Honestly, I thought making this video, I would still say the Hyatt. It's in a great location off Paseo de Mateo. We have had just such good luck with it, but I think as you see more and more of these boutique hotels come along, you're going to see better and better experiences. Not to say anything negative about Antelar Casa Destino. I personally would say from now on, if we would ever have to have a hotel again, which I'm praying we don't because our house should be done very soon, but if we have spillover or anything like that, I am probably going to recommend a boutique hotel like Antelar over the Hyatt. Not that I have anything against the place, it's just the intimate feeling like you're kind of helping out a small business, as minor as that might seem to some. It was a very nice feeling. It was a very good feeling. And on top of that, it was in an incredible location as well. So the Hyatt, I would never talk anything bad about, but if it were me personally, I'd take a chance on a boutique hotel in the future, especially if you're talking about Merida, and who knows what's gonna pop up. Maybe you'll see another video of me doing one of these again, even though I have a house. Maybe we could just do a tour of all of them. We'll see. But so that's my answer. Right now, it's 1A, 1B, but 1A would technically be Antelar Casa Destino. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, but I will never throw shade at the Hyatt as well. So that's the video, guys. If you want to see more of these videos, please click the subscribe button, as well as if you enjoyed this video, which you've already made it here, so you might as well click that like button, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know anytime that I go live, whether it's live streaming or one of these videos goes live. I try to be on the premiere of each and every one of them so that I can talk to you guys if you have any questions during that. On top of that, please feel free to visit me at these social media links. At Alexander from KC is where you can find me everywhere, but on Instagram is where you will find me active the most, as well as texting me 816-727-7740. That goes directly to my cell phone, and that's just if you have any messages or have a specific question for me. Happy to get back to you and answer that as well. Also, there's my website, alexanderhowell.com. And that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like, subscribe, follow me on those things, and as always, peace.